Gundam Astray, Gold Frame Amatsu. Hey, what's up again everybody? It's Robert184, 2Rs2Bs, gundam.tk. I'm continuing my look at the 1/100th non-grade Gundam Astray, Gold Frame Amatsu. Yes, the name is long. This is the star of Gundam Seed Astray, the manga, even though it does make its first appearances in X Astray, which I talk about at length in part 1. This is a kit some of you may not be familiar with, so you can check that out if you want more information, or just search online. But now it's time to take a look at the plates, which is of course going to form the basis of whether or not this is a good model. For a look at what's inside, gray, black, and red on the top, some gold parts, and gold on both sides, black with some wires, more gold, you never get tired of seeing that, big black plates, a whole bunch of big red stickers, and some black polycaps, and the manual. Not a lot of colors here in the A plate. You're just going to have a little bit of red and some gray purple that you can say. You do get another plate of that. But the first thing that impressed me when I took this out of the package is just how shiny and glossy these black parts are. You'll notice that this part here, it's not going to shine like that, but all the black ones do, except this one. I'm going to have to actually cut it off and see if it's any different from those ones. But otherwise, that's the 4 colors from the A plate. Shiny black for the B parts. Again, you're going to get some parts for the waist, the legs, and all sorts of things. You'll notice that the parts are a little bit large, which is pretty fitting for a 1/100th non-grade. On to the C plate, which just glistens like the gold that it should. And I am so impressed with how much gold you get in this kit, considering the price and considering what you get with the Strike Freedom Gundam when you pay the extra money for the full burst mode. Anyway, you're going to get all sorts of weapons parts, chest parts, and all the things that you're going to need to make a pretty decent inner frame for a 1/100th kit. And just for good measure, on the back of these, you'll notice that these parts are really sprayed well on the front, and they're hardly sprayed at all. That's what the inside of these gold make parts look like. The D plate is somewhat misleading, if only because in the manual they say that it's the D plate, whereas here it's listed as D2, and all the other ones actually say Gold Frame Amatsu, whereas this one just says 1/100th Gundam Astray. So a little bit of cost savings for Bandai there. It's good to see that the goatee is actually going to be made out of shiny gold. The E plate is the first plate that's not shiny gold or glossy black, and it's this gray purple again, and you're going to notice that those are the weapons that should have been used by a kid who was playing the piano, and otherwise you've got some rather large parts and a whole bunch of weapon tips. The E was custom Amatsu, but the F1 and F2 are actually just half plates that are cut off, and these are just, again, 1/100th Gundam Astray. So pretty similar to what you're going to be getting for the red frame and blue frame, I'm sure. All this one is just that much more visually impressive. Here's the F2, and I guess the design of the Astray suits just show that you do have to have a lot more inner frame, even though it is not a non-master grade, and that's just going to show through with the amount of shiny gold again. The G1 and G2 plates are just half plates that attach on here, and the G2 just has a couple extra parts there in the middle. But you may notice just how incredibly reflective this is. And if you've ever bought Mr. Color Black and tried to do with the aerosol paints, you want to be careful, because if you buy the ones in the early numbers, it's going to be as shiny and glossy as this. It's probably going to have as many fingerprints on it as a Hyakushiki by the time it's done. This kit wraps up with the H plate, which again fits the whole motif of this. You're going to have large pieces that are really shiny. You're going to get 2 fairly long wires here and a set of black polycaps. This is where it stops feeling like a master grade though, because when you're looking at this sticker sheet and you just see, wow, there were so few red parts on the A plate, and they're all going to have to made up for with these stickers, some of which are huge and bulky and are probably going to look pretty bad. Depends which way, of course, that you display the weapons, whether this is forward or back, but something to be aware of. It's not going to look as good as a proper piece on there. Interesting too that they give you an English and Japanese label down there if you wanted to put that on, and then you're going to have the eyes, and what looks like a little part up there probably goes on the V-fin. Alright everybody, that's going to wrap up my look at the unboxing and the plates of this Astray Gold Frame Amatsu. So far, I have to say I'm impressed. When I cracked this thing open and I saw that many gold plates, plus the fact that you've got the really glossy black, this is something that right out of the box I think is going to look good, and that's something that I think Bandai knew by the fact that they're going to show this off in an unpainted form on the side of the box. The fact they've got that broadly advertised on both sides, to me, says they have a lot of confidence in this out of the box, so it may be something that a new model builder may be comfortable with, because you don't have to put in a lot of effort and it's going to look good. However, looks aside, looking at the plates can't tell you anything about the posability and the poses and just everything else that matters. So stay tuned for the next part to see all the parts before you get to see the MS put together and then my final thoughts. Let me know what you think with a comment down below. Always great to hear from you. Anyway, everybody, see you next time. Lots more to come. Hey, don't you know that there's no room in manga for over-the-top art styles? You know, when I look back at the bad guys in Gundam, some of them were really exciting. You're a huge step up on what I've been fighting. Hey,